Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tyria Then, episode Nightfall. No, episode 27.
Yes.
With me, as always, is Miko.
Hello, everyone.
And I'm now Aaron the Third.
I was wondering if that's what you were going to do.
Spoiler, yeah. I am, in fact, a scythe-wielding, robe-wearing Aaron the Third of Destruction, and I already quite like it.
That's great.
Yes, so we finished Factions, didn't we?
We did.
We got
We finished Factions.
2 campaigns under our belts.
Yep, we're cruising through this game.
One might say we're experienced Tyrians.
Who'd have thunk it, right?
Yeah, no, we were goobers when we started out in episode 1 in Ascalon City talking to Sir Titus. And oh, how far we've come. So far, in fact, that we are level 1 yet again.
Yeah.
So we're starting Nightfall today, guys, and I'm excited. I like Nightfall.
Yeah, you've been looking forward to playing this campaign. This is not my most favorite campaign. I don't have the best. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like it. I do like it. It's just not my favorite. And there are reasons why. Because when I first played through this campaign, I think I first played through it on an elementalist, and it was the first time I'd made an elementalist. And
Elementalists never felt good.
I learned quickly that elementalists die.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I don't like this game.
I never loved elementalists because their skills are like, this skill does 100 bajillion fire damage, and then you use it against an enemy and it does like 46 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like playing elementalists for that specific reason. I'm sure one of the scholarly fellows in the comments can break down for me why I'm just bad, and that's fine. I'll own that, right? But yeah, elementalists never worked for me. Yeah. I am once again playing a melee hit things character. That seems to be my role on the show.
Yeah, that is kind of how it worked out. I'm doing the ranged-ish character.
Yes.
Profession, I'm playing Paragon, and I have never played Paragon.
Me either.
Oh, okay.
I do have a dervish on my main account. I like dervish though, so I'm not complaining. Dervish is good. Yeah. I don't quite understand why they get a medium armor rating. Their armor is literally a robe. I guess they're more armored than most of the spellcasters though.
Yeah, well, I mean, and they are kind of frontline-ish because they are melee. So you'd want them to, be able to take a hit.
A lot of the dervish, now that I come to think of it, so your starter armor is a robe, but a lot of the dervish armor that you buy throughout the game has like chunky leather pieces and like metal studs and stuff. So I'll take a medium armor rating there.
Okay.
This game, how would you rate the... So we've played all of the game intros now.
Yes.
Which game do you think has the best introduction?
I think it is a toss-up between Prophecies and Nightfall.
I would agree.
And what we didn't get in Factions is we didn't get our narrated opening.
Yes.
We just had a subtitled opening, and the narration is back in Nightfall.
Yes, and Nightfall has a pretty good opening line. Ilona, Land of the Golden Sun. But Prophecies has a better opening line.
Yeah.
The last day dawns on the kingdom of Ascalon. That's writing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But Nightfall has a better tutorial and has like a mission that it starts you off with that's interesting, like mechanically interesting. So I would probably say that Nightfall has the best, most well-rounded opening of all the campaigns.
Yeah. I liked the cinematic, the opening narrated cinematic.
Yes, because it sets up not just the state of the world, but the plot, and kind of a few of the players. And it gives us like we should probably describe this cutscene for people. the voice goes Alona, Land of the Golden Sun. It shows you some shots of like the world you're going to be playing in, some buildings, some characters. It states that Alona is a land of bounty, so kind of a plentiful, rich. Think like peak peak Nile River civilization.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
Kind of a land of plenty. We're introduced by the narration and the visuals to the Order of the Sun Spears, who are like the local law enforcement, right?
Yeah.
And we are told that a shadow has fallen upon the land recently.
Yes.
A shadow of ancient and forgotten darkness, quote. And then they say night falls. And
it's spooky.
And they say the time of the 5 gods is at an end.
Yes.
That's great. That's a great, like, catalytic statement.
Yeah.
Of, like, shit. That's basically like, hey, guys, shit is about to get fucking real. Right?
Yeah.
And then there's, like, a sun spear lady investigating a statue that, like, glows purple. And you're like, what the hell is going on there? It's a very good opening cutscene as opposed to Factions where we were just like, what's happening?
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Definitely good stuff. You didn't have to go out of the game to get the good stuff like you did with Factions.
Yeah, man, and I wanted to talk about that because as much as I think Nightfall pulls it back with the opening cutscene, I dearly wish we had a CGI promo video for Nightfall.
Yeah, we don't.
I want to see like Cormyr spinning her spear like a baton ninja.
Yeah,
slicing through bladed termites or whatever the fuck. That'd be because like based on the first 2 CGI trailers, I feel like that's what it would be. It'd be like Koss and Cormyr whipping ass.
Yes.
And I'm sad that we don't have that.
No.
How the character creation, we never really talk about it that much because the character creator, as we've said before, is super bare bones in Guild Wars.
Pretty much, yeah. You pick a face, pick hair, pick a armor color, and off you go, really.
Anything notable about the choices you made for your character?
Not really. I decided to go with a silver-haired paragon.
Okay.
And I couldn't be creative with trying to come up with a name, so I'm just Miko the Paragon.
Really? Your name is Miko the Paragon?
Yes.
That's even better than Aaron the Third. I gave my character like a scenester emo mohawk.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He looks like he got his hair done at Hot Topic.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. But it doesn't matter because I have a dervish hood.
Yeah, so no one ever gets to see it.
I might, if my hood looks dorky, I might hide it to show off my lovely emo hawk.
But the dervish hoods on the male dervishes, they kind of cover and fall over their eyes. So
yeah,
it kind of looks a little bit more badass than on the female dervishes.
They do. Yeah, no, it's super edgy. Like I'm edgy either way. All right.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm pretty happy with my character. Looks like he is the lead singer in a band, and that he's playing whatever your local like bar that does live music is.
There you go. Yeah,
he looks like he's a guy who wears wristbands. Okay, I'm done roasting the hell out of my character. After the cutscene, the game drops us into like we're just outside hanging out with a lady named Spear Marshal Cormyr and a dude named Koss.
Yes, Koss.
And the good voice acting is back.
Yes, Koss has some. I love Koss's voice actor. I have since I played Nightfall.
Koss is great.
And I want to say that they actually went and got that same voice actor back when Koss. Spoiler alert, friends! If you haven't played Guild Wars 2, Koss is back. Because I think he's got the same voice in Guild Wars 2.
He might, yeah. It confirmed for us in the comments if Koss has the same voice actor. But yeah, that's very possible because I could see them doing that.
Yeah, Koss is iconic. You can't change his voice actor, you know.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. I did think that I don't think Cormier's voice actor is bad, but she's like really stilted in her line delivery.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't sound,
And
you know how in like Pixar movies, for example, but like a lot of things do
mhm,
this. They'll have all the voice actors at like a round table in a studio and they'll be having the
yes.
conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Cormier's voice actress recorded her lines in a completely another room by herself.
Yes. Take that, you Corsair dogs, and don't come back.
You've done well.
You can count on me. On us, I mean. On both of us.
These Corsair raids have gotten worse of late.
They have. It is a matter of concern for the Sunspears. Continue your training. We shall speak again of this at the Sunspear Great Hall.
Yeah, which may well have been the case, and someone was probably feeding her from a booth on the other side.
Yeah.
Whatever was coming before or after. But yeah.
And I can't really tell from this interaction with her and Koss if we are a new Sunspear recruit. I don't think we are, because they have us like train the other recruits.
Yeah.
So I think we're like an intermediate Sunspear, even though we're level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about it too much.
So did you play the tutorial, like the full tutorial, or did you skip?
What do you think?
I think you skipped.
I did.
I played it because I was like, Aaron's gonna skip it. I'll play it through.
Dear Lord, how was that?
It was about as painful as the one in Factions, where you're just like, I know what to do. Yes, I understand what death penalty is. I know how to equip my weapon and how to raise and lower my attribute points. Okay, thanks.
Well, I'm glad they have it, because
Yes,
when I'm
yeah.
brand new to a game, I do play those.
Oh yeah, they're definitely helpful for people who don't know how or who wouldn't know how the mechanics of the game works. But we've now played this game for many, many years, so this is kind of old hat. But yeah, no, I didn't skip it, and I'm glad I didn't skip it because there's some pretty funny banter between Koss and Cormier in it that I had not remembered.
Oh, so they got like fun dialogue to break it up.
Yeah, at least yes. So that's a bit of a reward due for taking the time to go through. Yeah,
I like that. And kind of the gist of us being introduced to these characters is there are Corsairs like attacking everywhere. There's a Corsair epidemic.
Yes.
Corsairs are kind of like pirates.
Pirates. Yep.
I don't really know what the difference between Corsairs and pirates is, but
I think it's just a different word.
it's like a cooler word. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they offer us the long tutorial. I picked the shortcut. She basically offers it in terms of like she's like, we can go straight there, but it's more dangerous, or we can take the long way. That's safer, right? And that's the difference between the tutorial and just going for it. The quote more dangerous way, I think I had to fight one enemy. So yeah, not super.
I had to fight several Corsairs, but they were like level 0 or level 1. They were a joke.
Yeah, no, there are level 0 enemies in this.
And what cracked me up is that Cormier is like, Miko, you go and teach the recruits how to scout ahead and take out the enemies before they can go and sound the alarm. And Koss is like, why does she get to have all the fun? And Cormier is like, Koss, pipe down.
Oh, Koss has like a little blurb you can read when you get him as a hero, and it's great. We get that in a little bit. When we make it to the place we're going, which is Chobek Village, every word in Nightfall has one too many H's in it.
Yep.
Changed my mind.
No, I agree.
Yes. That's not necessarily a problem. It's just visually jarring all the time. So once we get to kind of where this tutorial quest is pointing us, which is a place called Chobek Village, we see the Corsairs on ships kind of attacking the village in a little cutscene.
Yeah.
And then Koss is like, yo, we actually outnumber them. They only got 2 ships, but we got 3 people up top, right? Like he's
great.
He's that guy.
Yeah, he is that guy, and I love that they are setting up his like bravado from like go. So they're doing a good job. I thought that they're doing a good job of like setting up his character.
Yeah,
for
no,
you.
they establish very clearly and firmly right out of the gate who Koss is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it's very cool. Once you get past that cutscene, it plops you into the mission outpost. So immediately we are in like doing a mission, right?
Yeah.
This format wise is new because prophecies and factions start you out with like a bunch of quests. And they
Yes.
don't really get you on a mission until you're level 4 or 5.
Right.
So Nightfall changes it up, and it's like, how about we make the tutorial a mission?
Yeah.
This is it is a full blown mission. Like you can replay this in hard mode.
Yes. And I don't know if I got this because I played the longer tutorial, but once I got to Chopek Village, I had to do like a follow-up primary quest called Quiz the Recruits. Did you have to do this?
Yeah.
And they're literally like, it's just more tutorializing of like game stuff. So like how to check your inventory and how to equip better armor and armor upgrades and weapons and how to get better skills. And I'm like, thanks. Talk to three NPCs to like tell you how to do that. And I'm like, why am I quizzing the recruits about this?
I know other games do this, but ArenaNet is particularly egregious about it.
Yeah.
Just no differentiation between discussion of like game mechanics, like you, the person at the keyboard, and a character talking to you. So you'll be talking to a character in the game, and they've done this since Prophecies, and they'll be talking to you in full roleplay, and then they'll just say, press the M button to open your map.
Yeah.
Like, Cormir, during the mission, Cormir is like yelling orders like in the middle of a battle, and she's like, press the drop item button to drop it.
Yeah, I'll ping your compass.
Yeah.
And Koss is like, how did you do that? And he's like, I think you need to learn some tactics.
Oh,
and I was like, wow, okay.
It's not meant to be funny, but it's so funny in how absurd it is.
Yes. Yes. It's like the video game characters all of a sudden realize that they are in a video game.
Yeah, they have these moments of like, by the way, we're in a video game. If you didn't know, you need to press the drop item button, or you're not going to be able to get rid of that Istani fire oil.
Right.
It's very funny. And once we do that quizzing the recruits quest, I think it gives us Koss as a hero.
Yes, he is the reward, or one of the rewards. He joins your party, and so now we have a hero.
We get a little button on our party tab that's a drop-down menu that says heroes. And we got one guy in there, and his name is Koss.
That's right.
He's a warrior. He's got a big old afro and like a nose ring or something.
Yeah.
He looks awesome.
Yep.
He's got cool like white armor. You can. I think we've talked about how the challenge missions in Nightfall and Eye of the North award like hero, like custom hero armor.
Custom hero armor. Yep.
I've got some of that on my main account, and it's pretty sweet looking. On your heroes.
Yeah, I've got some for Koss and one other whose name I can't remember.
Yeah, I did several of them to put them up in the Hall of Monuments.
Yeah, same.
They look good. Hall of Monuments is cool. I can't wait till we get there.
Yeah.
But it all starts here with Koss.
Yep.
When he's dropped into your party, there's a little blurb in the top left corner, I think. And it tells us that it just gives a little background info on Koss. He's a Cornin. We don't really know what that is yet, but that's what he is. And he's very arrogant. Apparently, he also possesses, quote, flexible morals.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of a naughty boy.
Yeah.
Bit of a crook.
Maybe. Yep.
He's got his fingers in a lot of pies.
That's Koss for you.
He's the type of guy to steal a pie from the windowsill. Well, it's cool.
Yes.
Well,
it's cool.
Okay. And he's a warrior, and you can like give him weapons, and you can put runes on his armor and stuff like that. He's like a fully customizable guy, and he's yours.
Yeah, you can adjust his attribute points. You can make him do whatever. Essentially, you have like a second little player character, but they fight alongside.
The game becomes a full-blown like party-based RPG at this point, because you can customize and so originally when Nightfall came out, you could get 3 heroes total. That was the max you could have. You could have 3, so you'd have to party up with someone else if you wanted like a full player hero party. Otherwise, you'd have to go 3 heroes and 4 henchmen. Ever since the 2011 7 Hero update, you can have your whole party your heroes.
Yep.
And there are enough heroes to do this. There's like 20 heroes in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Between Nightfall and Eye of the North.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to pick up a lot more of these as we go through the game. And I'm really excited to play Nightfall from the ground up with the ability to have 7 heroes. We can just keep adding like characters to our party, like characters with personalities who are like involved in the story.
Yeah.
It's
like what we wanted of the gang and we never got because, you know, the gang. They were introduced kind of jankily.
Yeah, because 2005, right? Now fast forward a year and a half, Nightfall's coming out, right? Maybe just a year, but the game has come a long way since Prophecies, and now we have a full hero interface. We can customize their skills, their build. We can give them weapons. We can kit out their armor. Like it's amazing. So, and like I said, these are all characters that like have weight in the story. There are certain missions where you have to take a certain hero because they're like the main character for that mission. So cool. So were you able to like edit Koss's build at all?
Yeah, because I'm playing on my full account. And so I went and for whatever reason, I hadn't had a Koss build saved. So I just went and grabbed one of my Koss builds from one of my other characters, my max level characters, and slapped it on him. So he's got a full build with an elite. It's great.
What kind of?
Of course, he's rocking like, starter weapons because
damage
I
1 to 2.
I haven't pillaged my bank yet to see what I can throw on him. But yeah.
The first thing I did was run over to my Zunlai storage and get that set up and yoink like a fat 5 platinum out of there.
Nice.
And bought me and Koss new weapons, bought me some new armor. But we do that after the mission. Did you equip the
green weapon that you got from the end of the factions mission?
Not yet. I don't have 9 scythe mastery.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's your plan.
Oh, I'm gunning scythe mastery as soon as I get 9. That thing's going on in my hands.
I used from the Togo mission that we ran from the bonus mission pack. I used my book to get a gold spear because I forgot to grab a spear for.
Wait, we can trade that book for a weapon?
Yeah.
I deleted it.
Oh man. Yeah, you can authorize the book with Dermond and then trade it into one of the scribes.
Oh, I thought you had to do like the challenges to get the weapons.
No.
Damn
All you gotta do is turn in an authorized book.
But
I think if you give him, like if you get another book from him, because you've already played it, you can get him to authorize it, and so long as it's on the same character, maybe? But maybe it's account wide.
What do you think? Do you think I should put in a support ticket with Guild Wars 1 support so I can get my notarized Dermond book back?
I think you can just go get another book and have him authorize it because you've already played through it, and it should have saved your progress.
Maybe I'll do that.
And then you can turn it into the scribe. Try it.
Maybe I'll grab an
report back next time.
Yeah, I've been holding on to this like 2020 Sundering Axe Haft that I found while playing Prophecies in my bank. Never going to use that for anything. Maybe I'll just buy an axe to put that on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems stupid to sell it, right? Because I'm like, this is a perfectly good axe haft, but I'm never going to use it. How did you find? So you've got a sweet build on Koss. What elite did you end up going with for Koss?
I don't remember. So I literally slapped it on him, and then I was done with the playthrough session. So I'll have to go back and I'll tell you what my build was.
Should run Dragon Slash.
I probably am.
That's what I usually run on Koss. I like Dragon Slash.
Yeah.
100 Blades is good, but Dragon Slash has that panache,
Yeah. I have a feeling that is what I'm running on him, but I don't actually remember because I don't remember all of the warrior skills.
The spammier and more brain dead it is, the better a hero will be able to use it. So that's why I remember a lot of people choosing to go Dragon Slash on Koss.
Yeah.
Because you just. I have some warrior skills unlocked on my account from my Prophecies playthrough. Most of them are hammer based. Koss does not have a hammer.
Right.
But I've got some nice strength skills, right? I slapped Endure Pain
good.
on there.
Yep.
I slapped 4 Great Justice in there, which is not one
Of
of his
course.
default skills.
Yeah,
So
I
having
gave
that
him as
unlocked,
well.
having that unlocked is big. Considering going Warrior secondary on my Dervish to get access to Adrenaline stuff, and
Okay.
mainly for that skill for Great Justice.
Nice.
Still haven't decided though. Do you have a second profession yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
We will
No,
probably
because you have to. Yeah.
get those next episode.
Yeah, because once you finish the Chabak Village mission, you have to go and do some more primary quests.
How was the mission? How was the mission for you?
Oh, it was piece of cake. It was fun blowing up ships, that's for sure.
It is unfailable, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I didn't lose a single Sunspear recruit, so I got the bonus objective, and I got my master's reward and everything.
Yeah, it's very... You would have to just sit there and run out the clock to not get masters on this.
Yeah,
I think.
pretty much. Yeah.
Bonus objectives are back for missions. So this combines the Factions and Prophecies mission systems. So there is both a timer and a bonus objective in the Nightfall missions.
And the one thing that we quite liked about Factions, and what I quite like about Factions, is that you can essentially power level in Factions, because every quest and mission just plops out a bunch of XP. And they have scaled it back in Nightfall, and we get more than we did in Prophecies, but it's not as much as Factions.
Yeah, the starting quests, the ones I picked up in the city. Now, I haven't actually done any quests yet, because my playtime was a little more limited. Miko has done some quests.
Yes.
The ones I was able to find in Kamadan were all like 500 XP or whatever. But we will start seeing some like 1,000 and 1,500 XP reward quests in this kind of the starting area. But yeah, it's not like Factions where every quest gives you 3,000 experience for no reason.
Yeah.
Right. So this is Nightfall is so good, and one of our commenters on last episode mentioned how well paced Nightfall is.
Yeah.
Part of that is the story, and part of that is also the leveling experience.
Yeah.
It's just the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell they learned a lot from making 2 games.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the mission is pretty easy. We gotta load some like jars of fire oil into a catapult and shoot them at boats.
It's great.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had to hit the lever twice, so I actually ran back for no reason at one point.
Yeah, Cormier actually tells you.
It turns out I needed the tutorial.
She tells you, and then I was too busy ignoring what she was telling me, and I was looking for the fire oil, and I was like, how do you make catapults run again? I haven't done this since Prophecies. And so I scrolled through my chat box because her dialogue was in there, and I was like, oh, hit it twice. Okay,
That's
click
true.
again.
Like every single mission in Prophecies has a catapult.
Yeah.
That's probably hyperbole, but like it felt like that, you know?
I know, yeah. Yeah.
Did you talk to... So there's 2 henchmen you can take. There's Sogalon and Kim. Did you take either of them?
Yeah, I took them both because Sogalon had more skills than me at the point when I ran the mission.
Did you talk to him in the outpost?
No, I forgot to talk to everybody. I was a little bit tired yesterday when I was doing my playthrough, and I was like, I'm just going to get this done.
I was really planning on tearing up some Nightfall last night, and then I got like hard stuck on the Master Togo bonus mission. Guys, go listen to bonus episode 1 of Tyria then if you would like to hear what that was about. So yeah, you did more questing and I did more chit-chatting, I think. Sogalon says that his parents named him after someone named Sogalon the Protector, and I don't know what that means because I don't know who that is.
Right. Yeah, it must be a whatever, Cornin or Istani. What are we?
We're just Alonian. We're just Alonian for now.
Alonian, thank you. So we're the Alonian legend.
Yeah, and he says it's no surprise that he's destined for greatness. So he's kind of the Orion of this new henchman
I was going to
group.
say, yeah. All right, he's one of those guys. And he's a motivation henchman, so he's a paragon.
Yes, he is a paragon. He carries a spear over his shoulder. In a perpetual state of readiness to throw it.
Yes.
And then Kim, also with one too many H's in her name, says Koss taught her how to fight.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And she's a healer.
she is a healer.
That's kind of ironic then.
Yeah, sometimes sometimes the professions matter and sometimes they don't. But yeah, bonus objectives are back. The bonus on this one is to keep all the Sunspear recruits alive. This is impossible not to do.
Yeah.
Did you have an encounter with a certain midshipman?
Yes.
Midshipman
Yes.
Bennis, classic boss in Guild Wars Nightfall.
And he goes down pretty quickly.
I love that all the Corsair bosses are named like British Navy ship ranks.
Yes.
I'm like, because every time you point, you're like, oh, I've watched Horatio Hornblower. I know what that is, right? I've watched Master and Commander.
Yeah. But we'll tell you that we do have midshipmen in the U.S. Navy as well.
I'm sure, yeah.
They just go to the Naval Academy instead.
Yeah. It just reminds me of
Yeah,
like
I know.
Age of
I'm
Sail.
joking. Oh yeah, it's great Age of Sail stuff.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Midshipman. It's just such a. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I guess it's like a middling officer, and that's exactly what Bennis is.
It is. It's like the juniorist, the most junior officer. You're not even an officer. You're like a kid.
Yeah, it's
you
great.
don't even rank yet because the next step up where you're actually like the junior level officer is ensign.
Yeah, there's like a
midshipmen or peons, basically.
There's like a bosun boss at some point. It's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, they're great. They got great whistles, the bosuns.
Yes. And I had this is where I had my note that the Cormier's voice acting seemed a little robotic. Still boatloads better than pretty much anything in Factions.
Yeah, for sure. And I wrote down that I did not remember that Cormier looks both a lot older than I remembered her, and also she looks a lot more tired than I remembered her looking.
Oh, they always did her with these giant bags under her eyes.
Yes, like poor Cormier. Come on.
Well, because and we might find differently in the story, but from what I remember, part of the issue with this whole darkness that's fallen over the land is she can't sleep. She has like bad dreams and stuff, right?
I didn't remember that. Okay. Well, now it makes sense. So no wonder she's tired and looking a bit haggard.
I'm remembering something about that, but we'll have to find out with the story. Maybe I'm full of shit. I don't know.
Okay.
But on the topic, actually, I have a related anecdote for this from a little bit later. When you get to Kamadan, there is a dervish henchman named Geraz. Again, with one too many H's in his name.
H's, yes.
I can't wait to point out every time there's too many H's in a word as we do this podcast. He states that the wind has sung to him about his life from his birth to his death. And he also says that he saw Cormier be born. So immediately I'm like, how old is this dude? So I zoom in on his face, and sure enough, they actually made him like old. He's like an old man.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, that's really cool that they were prepared for my bullshit.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, somebody's going to come along and like, yeah.
Well, because I was like, what if he just looks like generic young dervish? That will be funny, right? I was like, oh, that'll be hilarious. But they were way...
They followed it up.
Yeah, they were 2 steps ahead of me.
Yeah, there you go.
So the once you finish the mission, once you blow up the Corsair ships, Cormier basically says that we're going to go train with the Sunspear recruits in the Tyria fields. This time, too many R's rather than H's.
Yes.
There's like Tyria fields.
Yeah. Yeah, and she basically says, all right, we'll meet up in the Sunspear Great Hall, wherever that is. And you both did well. And Koss says, yeah, you can count on me. You can count on us. Both of us.
Koss is really one of those guys where you have to remind him there's no I in team.
That's right. That's Koss for you.
There's no I in Koss either.
No.
You want to know what's weirdest, though? There's no H in Koss.
No, I know.
You know who does have an H in his name? First Spear Divad.
Divad does. And then First Spear, what was the other guy's name?
Bina.
Jadugar has an H in his name as well.
Second Spear Bina has an H in their name.
An H in his name, yeah.
This is great. First Spear
This is gonna be our
Divide.
next podium guy thing.
Really, yeah. Our H named man for this mission is. It drops us in the career fields, and we got to speak to First Spear Divide, who's like First Spear is like a division commander, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Like an area leader for the Sun Spears.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a quest. He says that they've set up camp in kind of the ruins of the village to help rebuild and train recruits while they rebuild.
Yep. Yeah.
Kind of a reasonable reason for us to be there, like fucking around, right?
Right.
Instead of like
There.
in the beginning of Prophecies, where they're just like, go talk to Duke Barrett, and I don't fucking know, right?
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah,
there's like movement of the world reasons why we're here.
Right. And he basically is like, go and talk to the profession trainers. You got to keep learning about your profession, and learn some new skills.
Were your profession trainers goofy?
Yeah.
Mine were goofy.
Yeah. Mine were like talking about how they're ready to fight and throw spears at people. One of them who's like teaches you the spear mastery ones. The one who's teaches you the motivation skills, which are like the Healy energy management skills. Starts talking about like taking care of people, protection, and all that. And then there's the chant and echoes.
You had 3 trainers?
Yeah, I ended up with like a full skill bar.
Oh, I only had
and
2 trainers.
Skills. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I looked all the way around because I was like, there must be something else here.
The quest directed me to 2 trainers. There might have been a third, and I missed it.
Yeah, and I basically just looked around because I was like, surely there's going to be more. And I remember vaguely that there's more than one trainer around, and so I just kept running around. So you'll see if you in my footage, you'll see me just kind of running around. That's what I'm doing. I'm not running around pointlessly or aimlessly. I'm actually looking for them.
Because we want to fill that skill bar.
Yeah.
I did end up with a full skill bar. I might have talked to a third person and just don't remember their name. I talked to Lisha and Ngozi. They are the dervish trainers. And how do I explain what a dervish is? It's kind of like a monk and a warrior, maybe.
Yes.
Because they've got they've got this whole holy thing going. They're very monkly. They've got this like connection to the 5 human gods, to the point where each human god has an elite skill, a corresponding elite skill, for dervishes to use, and then holy prayers. Yes. Maybe, or just, is it holy prayers or mysticism? I think is the one I'm looking for.
Yeah, there's mysticism,
and they deal holy damage with a lot of skills.
Holy damage, yes, that's what it is.
That's right. So there's
I do have dervishes on my account.
Yeah, there's this whole earth prayers, wind prayers, mysticism, and I don't remember what the 4th dervish attribute is. But they've got this whole connection with the gods. They're kind of like priests almost, but they wield a big scythe and they chop people's heads off also.
Scythe mastery, that's your other one.
Yes, that's the most
the
most important one. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally the only one I care about. That's great. They're a very weird class, but they're kind of dope. They wear.
And they've got the best dance.
They do. No, they have a good dance. And they dress like the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, pretty much.
They wear a robe and a hood and a scythe. It's awesome.
Yep.
And
They're
scythes.
coming for you.
Yeah, scythes do 9 to 40 damage on a max damage scythe.
They're great.
So what that means is you might hit 40. You might also hit 9.
9, yeah.
So that's fun. But there's a lot of fun side mastery builds.
But there's a lot of good like spin to win skills.
Yeah,
I remember.
As soon as I hit 2 enemies in one swing, I was like, I'm home. Perfection. Because in Prophecies, I had to wait maybe the whole game to get a skill that would hit multiple enemies at the same time.
Yeah, well, you were also doing the whole hammer thing.
Yeah, well, because you'd think like, oh, big hammer, maybe that 2-handed, maybe that'll be AoE, but you don't really get a dedicated AoE weapon until the dervish. Yep. So yeah, the Lisha was like kind of a normal trainer. She gave me some skills, like chilling victory or something. I don't know. It does cold damage. And then Ngozi is like a goofball. He's like, I took a head wound and now I'm crazy. He talks kind of like you've never played Baldur's Gate 2.
I have not, no.
But there's a goofy character in that named Minsk. If anyone has played that, Ngozi is like Minsk. He's like had one too many head wounds, and he's like sort of simple.
Oh.
He's like
Oh
me.
dear.
Yeah, he's like he speaks to you like caveman speak. He's like, me teach you fight. Yeah, I don't know if this is offensive or not, but that's
Right.
just what happened in the game.
Right.
So he gave me some skills for bonking people on the head.
I mean, seems to be in character then.
Yeah, so I've got a bunch of scythe attacks that I didn't really read through. I don't really know what a ton of my skills do. Vital Boon is my best skill right now. It just gives me a bunch of health and then heals me at the end. It's an enchantment. It's great.
Nice.
And then you have to go and talk to Devad again.
Devad, yes.
That you gotta go talk to developer again. And he basically says, "Great work. Come back when you're level 5."
Yeah.
He literally says to you, Cormier's orders are for you to reach level 5.
I know. Yeah, and he's basically, once you do that, you can learn a secondary profession. So until we reach level 5, we cannot learn a secondary profession. So we've got to go and do some secondary quests.
Yeah, in factions, I think we talked about how Xingje Monastery has those stone tablets around it that like are labeled cool names. Then you read it and it's just tutorial horseshit.
Yeah.
They really leaned into having the NPCs like in character explain all the tutorial elements of the game in Nightfall, and I'm kind of here for it. I love that Cormier has ordered me to become level 5.
Yeah.
So
well, it's kind of a throwback to prophecies, right? Like, didn't you have to like become before? Was it War Master?
You had to get a second profession before you could leave.
Pre-Syrian, right?
And
Yeah,
I do.
You were like level 3 or something like that when we.
Oh
when
yeah,
we
jetted the hell out.
We jetted the hell out. Yeah.
I was like, I want to start the game. Yeah, I do have a vivid memory of going to Ashford Abbey and Mirek the Scribe being like, press M to open your map, which is the classic in-character tutorialization that we know and love from Guild Wars. Next, we got to talk to Second Spear Bina, who takes us to Kamadan, the Jewel of Istan.
Yes.
Have we gotten a lot of information about the place we're in being Istan yet?
No.
No, we're just in Ilona somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
If we open up our map, we can see that we're on an island in like the corner of the ocean.
Yes, and Kamadan is still a very popular outpost. I didn't check to see if there were multiple districts, but it generally still does have multiple districts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people in there.
Yeah, there was like 20, 25 people around the main storage area near the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been the main hub for the game ever since Nightfall came out, pretty much. It's where you go to trade, right? It's where you go to spam trade chat with whatever horse shit you're selling, right?
I know, and it was also, I was pleasantly surprised to see other Lobies in there. Like, there was another like level 3 Paragon in there while I was in there, and I was like, hey, I'm not the only one, you know.
Yeah, no, it's the same feeling as when I spawned into Unwaking Waters with another player.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, people are doing this too. Yeah, I saw a few Lobies, like, not just standing around, but like running around doing stuff.
Yeah.
It was very nice to see. And here, our goal is just to get to level 5, so we basically go hog wild, taking quests, doing quests, talking to people, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Tell me about how you proceeded forth.
So I would look over who's got an exclamation mark, grab their quest. And that's basically what I did. I think the only one that I did not take was the one for the belt pouch, because I deleted a Lobi character that I had on my account to create this one. So I stole their belt pouch and threw it in the bank and then pulled it out.
Which quest is
I don't need your...
Which one's the belt pouch?
You're asking me a question. I gotta find... the list,
because I took all these quests. I took Need More Stuff from the collector who wants termite legs.
Of course they do.
I took Quality Steel from the weapons trader. I took Material Girl.
Yep. Took that one
Armored
as well.
transport, which sounds like it's going to be cancerous.
It's funny.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, I'm going to do that one then. I took identity theft from the merchant. I took a friend in need.
Yep.
And I actually completed the personal vault quest because all you have to do is open your storage.
Yep. Hang on. Which one is it? Bear with me.
Is it need more stuff? Is that the belt
It might
pouch?
be need more. It might be need more stuff.
It seems like something
From Nana. Yeah. From Nana. Yes.
Yeah, that seems
Yeah,
like
I didn't take that one.
Yeah, it's just go get termite legs. It's
Yeah.
It's basically a collector tutorial.
Yeah, and then she'll give you a belt pouch, and you just need 2 termite legs, which I did not. For the amount of termites that I killed, I didn't have 1 termite leg drop.
I'm having flashbacks to trying to farm spider legs for the stupid collector armors and prophecies.
Yep, in prophecies. Yeah, we're back to that, so buckle up.
I'm not back to that. I'm not back to that because I have a green scythe waiting for me in my storage. I bought fresh new armor as soon as I got to Camadan
But if you want a belt pouch, you're gonna have to go and find termite legs. Of course, knowing you, you'll just go and get them.
I'll get her freaking termite legs. I'll probably solo it because I've got nice armor and I don't think the termites are very hard.
They're like level 2.
Yeah, I think I'll solo farm those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't actually do any of these. So, did you do all of these quests?
So I grabbed a friend. No, I didn't run all of them. I was basically trying to get to level 5, and when I hit level 5, I was like, cool. And so I have not gone in to turn in honing your skills, but I did hit level 5. So I grabbed a friend in need, a personal vault, armored transport, identity theft, material girl, quality steal, a hidden threat, proof of courage. See, so I grabbed quests from Camadan, the Great Sunspear Hall, and the Plains of Jaren.
I was gonna say I don't recognize a few of those because I haven't been to the Sunspear Great Hall yet, and I haven't been to Plains of Jaren yet.
Yeah. So there were a couple that I grabbed out in the world in the Plains of Jaren, and so I ran those I think today. But a friend in need is basically just form a party that includes like a henchman.
Oh yes, from the girl standing right next to the henchman.
Yes, and so you do that, and you're like, hey, great, and she gives you your reward, and you're like, cool. And then a personal vault is from the Zunlai agent, who has a name, Jue, I want to say is her name.
I didn't write it down.
I think it's Jue. And so you just take your quest, go talk to an agent, and then get access to your bank and your material storage if you've got enough golds to do that, and then you go back and turn in the quest. Job done.
Fortunately, I had exactly like 100 gold, and so I was able to get access to both. And then I had access to the treasure trove that my assassin amassed playing factions.
Right. Yep. So I did those, and those were easy. Then I grabbed armored transport, and that one, I grabbed that out. Let's see, I picked that up from
Mahinu, the armor vendor.
Mahinu, yes, the armor vendor, and he wants you to go and meet a guy called Dengo. Protect him from Corsair attacks as you travel to the Sunspear Great Hall. So you go protect him. He does do some fighting with you, but as soon as he gets to the door or to the bottom of the stairs, he's like, cool, thanks, I'll see you later. And then you can go back and get your reward from Mahinu. So that one's pretty easy. And then
is that how long of a trek is that to the Sunspear Great Hall?
No, it's it's like a jog that takes you not even a mile down the road.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's just a little jaunt.
Nice.
You basically exit Camadan, hang a right, and it's across the little plain.
Okay, so there's a couple a couple fights maybe that you have to.
Yeah, some Iboga you might encounter if there's a patrol coming around. Mainly it's termites that you fight. Yeah,
tell me. You mentioned an Iboga there. Tell me about the kind of enemies that we're encountering in the Plains of Jaren.
So you can encounter some fanged Ibogas, and they're level 6.
What do they look like?
They are big plant serpents.
They look like if broccoli was a flower.
Oh, I mean, that's one way to put it. Yes. They kind of like try to be cobras, except that their hood is made of like flowers.
Yeah, and they just kind of end up looking goofy instead.
Yeah, and they are mesmers, so that they're annoying because of that.
Yes, they do the classic image burden and conjure phantasm combo.
yeah.
They're the gargoyles from Ascalon, essentially.
Yes, pretty much. So Iboga is level 6. You'll be able to take them down, not a problem.
Oh, I'm going.
Especially with Koss alone.
Yeah, I'm taking Koss. I'm taking some henchmen. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. And then you'll come across some bladed juvenile bladed termites. You'll also come across, which are exactly what they sound like, termites, but they look like they're spindly-legged spiders.
Yeah, their model kind of like they're big boys. Like these are all giant bugs.
Yeah, they're giant insects.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't love some giant insects? Not me. But...
Giant insects are all throughout this game, baby. Like we are just getting started.
Yep. And then I came across some stalking Nephilia.
I think
And
that's how
I think that's her. Yeah, it's either Nephilia or Nephalia. They're also kind of spidery. They will drop shimmering webs, which you can salvage into glittering dust.
Ooh, glittering dust is valuable.
Yeah, I know. I was like, ooh. So they will drop that, and there are a couple of like Stormseed Jacarandas, and they're lightning elementalists.
They kind of look like cat turds. Like real old ones. They're like gray.
they look like floating. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess so. Mm-hmm.
Floating litter box refuse.
Yes. And then Corsairs. That's what I ran across for this playthrough session. So all of those.
Were you able to take the Sunspear buff from the guy at the shrine?
Yes. So similar to how you can get the faction buff in factions from the Kurziks and the Luxons, you can get a buff from the shrine people, the res shrine people out in any of the Elonian maps to help raise your XP on if you basically do a bounty hunting, basically. So these guys will give you double XP for killing bugs, and that also helps with the XP gain for your Sunspear rank.
Yeah.
So handy.
Yeah, and Sunspear rank is going to be really helpful. Nightfall actually isn't the introduction of PvE only skills, which are skills that are attached to title tracks rather than attributes. There are a couple in factions with the Kurzik and Luxon title tracks, but we did not get far enough into those title tracks to get started on those. So we are going to get far enough into the Sunspear track to get some of their PvE skills. Yep. And they're pretty good. Like, they're pretty good skills. I wish we were playing Assassin and Ritualist this playthrough, because Assassin and Ritualist get really good Sunspear skills.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm sure Dervish and Paragon do also, so we'll probably be checking those out as our Sunspear rank rises. But yeah, and that kind of helps with the XP economy too, because like you said, they lowered the crazy XP rates from factions, but this offsets it a little bit with these shrine buffs that you can take. The shrine buff does not cost money, if I remember correctly.
No, it doesn't, which I had forgotten, so this is nice.
Yeah, you could just grab this. Like, there's no reason not to grab this.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas the Kurzik Luxon shrine buffs in factions, they did cost money. They were worth it to grab, but they did cost money. Yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of a no-brainer to just stop by the shrine and grab the buff. What other... Did you do any other quests?
Yes. So of the ones that I took, I did Material Girl, and that's given by the Material Trader.
It's given by the Material Girl?
Yeah. He wants you to find his daughter, Pele. And Pele, you think, he's worried about her being out in the wild, and she hasn't come home yet, and please go find my daughter. I think she's lost.
Did you find her ghost after she'd been burned at the stake by Char?
No. No,
Oh, that's
no.
the other Find My Daughter
That's
quest.
the other Find My Daughter
Find My
quest, yes.
Daughter is like a fantasy quest genre of its own.
Yeah. Yeah, so Kaleem is the material trader, and he is worried about his daughter. So you find her, and you think, this whole time you think, oh, I'm gonna be looking for a little kid. No, you're looking for a grown-ass woman. And she's like, I can't believe that my dad sent adventurers out looking for me. I am 18 years old. And she's basically been out farming ibogas. And the only thing that she needs is some help thinning out the ranks of some killer iboga that are out there. Now, the killer iboga that you have to kill are like level 1.
Okay.
And I'm like, why do you need my help? You have fanged iboga that are mixed in and some storm seeds jacaranda. Like, those are going to be maybe killing you a little bit more than the killer iboga rank 1, level 1. So,
I like how
anyways,
the level 1 ibogas are the ones named Killer Iboga.
I know, it's so silly. But yeah, you have to kill 10 of those, and they're all over, not just in front of her. So if you haven't run across any right in front of her, just kind of go off to the sides. You'll find some more.
10, that's
over by the
pretty
river.
reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about that quest you did in Factions that just had you kill 40 wardens. That's too
Yes.
many. Like, that's dial it back. And it looks like they did. So thank
they did.
goodness that we don't have to kill 40 ibogas.
Yeah. And so once you did that, you go back and talk to her, and she's like, thanks. Can you let my dad know that I'm okay? He gets worked up over nothing. And when you go back and talk to him, he's like, thank you so much for helping her. I know that she's growing up, but she's always going to be my precious little girl. So it's, a bit tender.
Here's the thing, because I took this quest from him, and he says that she went out to gather plant fibers, and she should have been back by now.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable reason in a world where fanged ibogas exist. I think that's a reasonable reason to check up on somebody.
Yeah. And
I don't think that's weird at all.
No, definitely not. But late stage teenager, 18.
He's a
like
bit of a
yeah.
He's a helicopter dad.
Yeah. But Kaleem rewards you for your trouble, not just with XP, but with a salvage kit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You want to know a secret?
What?
I have 3 superior salvage kits from all those monastery credits
I
and
know,
imperial commendations.
You were very, very happy that you could trade those in, I remember.
Here's the thing, though. I'm probably going to buy a regular salvage kit because I'm not wasting superior salvages on these low-level items that salvage into 1 iron ingot.
Yeah. No, I saved my good ones for when I really want to salvage stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I am using my big 100-use identify kit, though.
Nice. Yeah.
Did you? So you did armored transport. You did material girl. Did you do the identity theft quest?
No, I didn't. For whatever reason, I didn't need it to get to level 5. So it's still in my log, and I probably will do it at some point.
Did you do quality steel?
I did quality steel.
Okay.
And this one, you have to go and deliver a custom sword to Kestel and Puba. And I was like, oh, I remember that guy. And he's out in the Sunspear Great Hall. So,
do you want to know what the most memorable thing about Puba is?
What?
No H in his name.
No H in his name. But he's got double U in his name.
He's making up for it with his U game. Yeah.
And I remembered that he had more quests. But he didn't have anything for me after we finished this one. But I know that down the line, he's going to have more stuff for you.
Yeah, I think once we pass certain points in the story, new quests open up. Because these are all locations that we're going to keep revisiting to talk to, X, Y, and Z Sunspear person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Puba, you deliver his custom sword that the weaponsmith crafted for him. And he's like, cool, I'm going to go try it out. Let's come out and hunt with me. So you go out to the plains of Jaren, and you basically just need to kill 10 creatures of whatever kind. It doesn't matter. Just 10. And he's like, thanks. Nice. And then that's it. So then you go back and get your reward from the weapons vendor in Commandant, and that's quality steel.
Okay, gotcha. Now I know all about all the quests that I'm going to be doing when I log in.
Yeah. And then, let's see, which other one did I do? What is this one? Oh, Hidden Threat. This one actually takes you to, I picked this one up in the Sunspear Great Hall from Sharum. And he wants you to go and find a guy named Ellenbell.
Elumbo?
Ellenbell. Kind of Rivendell sounding.
I was going to say Elendel?
Yeah, and so he's out on patrol along the western riverbank, and you just have to go and follow him. You don't actually have to talk to him once you
Like
get
creepily?
near him. Yeah, apparently. He just wants you to follow him, and so that's what you do. You follow him. He doesn't you don't interact with him. He just starts going as soon as you get near, and so you just follow him along. And he ends up going to right outside of the Astralarium outpost, so that's another one you can grab.
Famed Guild Wars 2 location.
Yep. And Ellenbell, is a traitor. He is in league with the Corsairs, and you basically just.
Is he a traitor or a traitor or a traitor who is a traitor?
He's a traitor.
Okay.
Traitor, sorry. And yeah. And so the Corsair captain or whatever sees you, and it's like, you jerk. You've been followed, because he never realized that he was being followed. And
He lifts up his shirt and there's a big tape recorder.
Pretty much, yeah. And so then you have to take Ellenbell out and the Corsairs. Now, who do you think is going to be higher level of this group?
I think the Corsairs are level 0.
The Corsairs are level 4.
Oh, dear Lord.
And 1. Levels 1 to 4.
Okay.
They're ridiculous.
And Ellenbell is level 5.
15.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that go?
I was like, I mean, you just kind of wail on him, and he dies.
It reminds me of that quest to kill that Yeti in Factions, where the Yeti is level 12 and your party is level 3.
3, yeah, pretty much. And I was like, oh dear Lord. Yeah.
Did he chunk anybody, or was he pretty weak?
He's a warrior, so he can hit. But I had basically Koss kind of tank him. And
did you have the healer henchman?
I did have the healer henchman, yes I did. So the healer was healing Koss, and I took the earth elementalist henchman for Herta, because he's got a war. Yes, Herta. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I talked to Herta, and she doesn't have anything interesting to say. She just bemoans her existence in choosing to become a Sunspear. Garaz is much more interesting.
Well, yeah, Garaz is more interesting. He's also not a bad henchman, but
Dervish.
You don't need him. Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'll be taking him. I'll be taking him anyway. I'm not taking Herta.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, cool. There you go.
She annoyed me.
More damage. Yeah. Herta. She does have a ward skill, so
Which
for
ward?
I don't remember.
Ward against melee?
Maybe.
Ward against melee is good.
Yeah. I was surprised that she dropped it, and I was like, "Oh, that's handy. You're coming back." So yeah, you can take him down. It's not going to be a problem.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how to Paragon yet, so I was just hitting things, and I was like, maybe this is a combination, maybe not.
You're just chucking your spear.
I do, yeah, chucking my spear, doing some spear masteries things, and then the skills that heal your allies, they were basically just there occupying space until I could ditch them for better skills.
Yeah, from what I remember about, because I'd run a Paragon hero sometimes, people would. Mm-hmm. The main purpose of the player Paragon is just to spam the Kurzik's warrior skill save yourselves as often as possible with their shout buffs. Heroes can't do that, and you won't be getting that skill because you won't be going to factions. No. As far as I'm aware, you just want to use shouts to buff your allies. Yeah. It's the bread and butter of the Paragon. Mm-hmm. Less so about DPS, with your spear, more so about singing.
Yeah, and the spear, some of the spear mastery skills that I have work on an adrenaline mechanic, which I didn't know was a thing, for a Paragon. So that was interesting to learn.
Yeah,
So I don't know. We'll
I'm
see.
I'm toying with, so because the like both of us could potentially settle on warrior as a second profession for the
Yeah,
adrenaline
we could.
boost. I'm also
Yeah.
toying with the idea of assassin second profession
Oh.
because dervish assassin just seems
Yes.
really cool.
I think I've run that on my dervish.
Dervish
And it's actually
assassin was
fun.
very popular for
Yeah.
runners. Runners would run dervish assassin a lot,
Mhm.
and assassin's just got some nice abilities for anybody doing melee, especially
Yeah.
in Nightfall.
Mhm.
Nightfall assassin skills are nuts. So those
Yeah.
are kind of some of the options that we have available to ourselves.
Yeah.
Did you talk to a guy in Camadan named Mac? MAHK?
Of course, he's got an H. No, I did not. I didn't see him.
He's standing near the area where like the merchant and the dye trader are next to the
Oh, okay.
portal.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And there's a guy named Mac, and there's a woman named Mac's wife, and a kid named Mac's
Yeah.
son.
Oh, yes. I did run past them, and I was like, "What are they about?" But they didn't have anything like quests, so I didn't bother talking
They
to
did
them.
not, yeah. And you talk to them, and they're like, he's like, yeah, I make the best toys ever. I'm a toy maker. I make awesome toys, but no one's interested in my toys. And then you talk to
Including your
his
kid.
yeah, and you talk to his son, and he's like, my dad makes great toys, but no one likes his toys. You talk to his wife, same story, right?
It sounds like there's a quest involved sometime.
Well, because I was like, this sounds like a Christmas quest.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it still up? Winter's Day's over.
Yeah.
So I went on the wiki, and
Yeah.
these three NPCs that take up space in the world
Uh-huh.
exist solely to facilitate a quest from the November 2006 issue of PC Gamer magazine competition to get a code for a mini gray giant.
What?
You apply
Wait a
this
minute,
code. You apply this magazine code to your account, and then this man will have a quest for you to do, and the reward will be a mini gray giant, which is one of the rarer minis in the game because you can only get it from this PC Gamer code.
I wonder, like, do people still have those codes? Like, is this still a thing? Like, why do we need them there
I don't know
in
how.
2025?
I guess their reasoning is like, what if someone does still have one?
Collector's edition.
I'm sure, like, people who bought, because there's probably plenty of people who bought the magazine that had a code and they don't play, right? So they don't care.
Right.
So I bet all those codes that exist in the ether haven't been used, and as long as they haven't been used,
Right.
they're probably leaving those NPCs in the game.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So Mac probably has not had any action in a very long time.
Poor guy. No wonder no one's buying his toys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody has the PC Gamer code that is the
Yeah.
only thing he uses as currency.
Yep.
So yeah, just interesting that Mac exists.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's mostly everything I did in Camadan. I did not go to the Consulate docks. I did not go to the Plains of Jaren. There's a lot of branching portals in Camadan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was astonished at how small Camadan is.
Yeah, it always felt a lot bigger.
I always thought it was huge. It's by far it's smaller than Xingye Monastery.
Yeah, probably.
It's tiny, like area-wise. That might be why it became so popular, honestly.
I think also what makes it feel bigger when you're in it, or at least it did for me, is that it's got like that big kind of honking bridge that you have to kind of go up and it divides.
It does. It's also got this big old statue of a sun spear, like holding a spear. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if we've talked a lot about the aesthetic and like kind of the cultural theme of Nightfall, but it's very clearly an African inspired
Yeah.
expansion, the same way
I always-
Cantha is
Yeah,
Asia inspired.
yeah. I always got a very like ancient Egyptian vibe from
Yeah.
Alona.
Big Nile vibes.
Yeah, Big Nile for sure.
From Alona. And then as we get
Yeah.
into the other areas of Alona, further north, kind of a lot of the geography of the continent of Africa going
Yeah.
on. It's pretty cool.
It is.
So that's the kind of stuff we'll be looking at as we go forward. Did you do anything else?
I
of note?
did. I did 3 other quests.
Wow, you
One
really
is a
really
map-
went for it.
I was trying to get to level 5. So I did 3 other quests that got me finally to level 5. One is a simple map travel quest. It's from a little boy out in the plains of Jaren. He's kind of very, very close to the portal for the Sunspear Great Hall.
Fast travel tutorial.
Yeah, very, very easy. And then I did Proof of Courage, which I picked up from an NPC called Poturi out in the plains of Jaren, and he wants to get his sword back from a corsair who stole it from him. And he's a terrible fighter, and he gets spooked.
Get my
easily.
sword back is also its own genre of RPG quests.
Yeah.
Find
so
my
you have to
daughter
go-
and find my sword.
Yeah. So that's basically it. And then the last quest that I did was called Hog Hunt. And this, I actually
saving the best for last, I see.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This was hilarious because, like, I ran across the NPCs that were having a conversation while I was running Armored Transport. And I was like, wait, what is this about? And it's basically a couple of rangers. One who's like a beastmaster and one who swears he's seen a black moa.
Which you've already done the quest for back in Factions.
Mm-hmm.
You know the lore of the Black Moa.
Yeah, so this is the equivalent backstory that they've thrown into Nightfall. And this guy, his name is Naduka. Lots of H's as well in there. He's like, no, I've seen a Black Moa, and let me tell you, I fought him. Yeah, he was like gnarly, and I took him down. And the Beastmaster guy, who's like legit, he's like, no, you didn't. You're such a blowhard. And then there's basically the point of all of this is that like there's a chick who Naduka is apparently trying to impress.
The Lucas of Nightfall.
yes. And so Naduka runs off. He's like, I'll show you guys. I'll get a pet. I'll do it. And he runs off. And when you get him up close to him, he's got an exclamation point. He's like, actually, I didn't do any of that stuff. I'm full of crap. And I've never tamed or taken down a pet in my life. But I need to, because I need to prove to them that I can do it.
So he's the Xenos of Nightfall, just
Yes.
With a little more humility.
Yeah, and so you go off with him, and he's like, yeah, let's go find that Black Moa. It's over there. And he gets spooked by the sound of a warthog in the grass. And he was like, what was that? What was that? Oh, it's just a little warthog. Oh, he's kind of cute. Oh, hang on. Protect me while I charm him. So it's teaching you that rangers can charm pets. Okay.
Is there a follow-up quest where we can fetch a bunch of stuff for him to dress that warthog up like a Black Moa?
Who knows? But the thing is that the warthog is called Impressive Warthog.
Impressive warthog.
Impressive Warthog. And when he starts to charm the warthog, a bunch of bugs show up. You gotta kill them. And he gets his warthog, and he's super excited. He forgets all about the Black Moa. He's like, come on, let's go show my friends. I've got a pet finally. And so you walk him back.
How old is this guy?
I mean, he's he's probably like in his 20s.
the way he's written, he seems 10 years old.
Like he's 10, yeah, no, but he's got the adult male model. And
he's a man-child.
Yes, he is a man-child. And so he goes back and he's like, I told you guys I'd get myself a pet. This is my warthog. And his name is Pork Chop, and he's my best friend. And I'm like, you literally called Impressive Warthog Pork Chop. Okay.
I mean, it's an intrinsically impressive warthog.
Yes.
Its status in the world is impressive.
Yes.
People cannot help but look at this warthog and be impressed.
And be impressed. And so the Beastmaster guy is like, wow, okay, so you really do know how to tame pets, and you are an actual hunter. All right, I had no idea, and clearly I shouldn't have misjudged you. And the girl, of course, is like, wow, you're so cool. And he's like, when you go back and talk to him to get your quest reward, he's like, thanks, man. Pork Chop and I are so happy for your help.
The key to every woman's heart, an impressive warthog, and
now,
pork chops.
Yeah. What would have been funnier is if they had changed is if they had coded it so that his name, Impressive Warthog, would change to Porkchop.
I'll do you one better. Impressive Pork Chop.
Yeah, but Porkchop remains Impressive Warthog. So yeah.
I'm a fan of
And-
Impressive Warthog, but Pork
Yeah.
Chop is a very good name for.
It is a good
It's a good
name.
name for a warthog pet, and also a little disturbing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but that is a good quest. I do wish that there was a follow-up quest where you gussied up the Impressive Warthog to come across as a Black Moa.
And who knows?
So he could sell that
might
shit.
That might still be the thing, because he still thinks that he's going to be able to impress people with his story about the Black Moa, even though he's confessed to you that he's full of shit about the Black Moa. So I'm like,
maybe he'll be back. Maybe we'll see him again.
maybe we will.
I
And
like-
that's all the questing that I did.
We
But
like
that one was good.
recurring characters, so I'm hoping. I'm
I
gonna have
think
to
of
do
all
that
of
one.
these. Yeah, I think of all of these: the hog hunt and the kill the level 15 warrior when you're level 3. One were probably the most
Wild.
memorable.
Yeah,
Yeah, most memorable. The rest of them were just kind of like, okay.
yeah.
More
A lot of these
tutorializing stuff.
are tutorial quests. Yeah, they
Yeah.
This game has more tutorial than any of the others, I think.
I could see that. Yeah. I did pick up out in Plans of Jar and Feast of Boca. Have you ever done this quest before? It's the one where the
Ooh.
chef is looking for the 3 different dishes.
I do not think I have done this quest because every time I made a Nightfall character when I used to play this game, I would be like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's
so
kind
I
of
picked
one of
it
those
up.
globe-trotting quests, right?
It is a globe-trotting quest. You've got to go through like just different, not just to different outposts, but you. It's basically you have to get, in order to get the item that he wants, you have to go and get a collector's item, basically. So you need a drop, which may or may not drop, as things go with RNG. Yeah.
Do I
Yeah,
want
I
to do
think-
it? Maybe.
I think I've completed this quest once with all of my Nightfall characters.
Well,
Um,
let's take the quest and see
And see
how
what
grindy
happens.
it is,
Yeah.
and decide if we
that's
want to
what-
finish it or not.
Yeah, so I mean, I picked it up and I figure it's going to be in my inventory, and if it does get completed, then great. If not, that's okay too.
Yeah, I will do all the other quests, and then I will start grinding this one. And if it's taking too long and I want to go to bed, then it's just not going to get
Right.
done. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Yeah.
I grinded
Ground.
a lot of like drop stuff and prophecies because I had no like resources to pull from.
Right.
Because that was my first character for this account.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm no
'Cause you played
longer
through factions.
yeah, I'm no longer excited about grinding for drops, but we'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see what that quest is like. So I'll pick it
Yeah.
up and see what's going on.
Mhm.
So that was all the questing you did, and
Yeah.
in Istan, this region of Ilona is called Istan. It's the island
Yes.
nation of Istan, Kamadan. It's in the title actually, Kamadan, Jewel of Istan.
Jewel of Istan. Yeah.
We'll get a lot more information about the region and the Sun Spears and all that stuff as the story moves forward.
Mhm.
But that is going to probably tie it up for episode 1 of Nightfall.
Yep. AKA episode 27.
Also known as episode 27 for playlist algorithm purposes.
Yes.
Miko, where can people find you on the internet so that they can keep up with you until the next episode?
The good people can find me at Inky Sticks on your social media platform of choice, and who knows, I might get crazy and stream some learning to play Paragon. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any promises, but you can follow my social media accounts, and if I go live, I will let you know.
Is the Paragon feeling pretty foreign? Feel like you need some practice?
Yes.
That's how I felt on Ritualist on Master Togo.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is going on?
I'm like, I don't understand what this profession does at all, so I've got to learn,
It's wild how different
or
the
I'm gonna
professions
die.
feel. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So keep an eye out for that, guys, and keep an eye on your subscription feed on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts for upcoming episodes of Tyria then. If you haven't followed us on those platforms, including formerly Twitter and Blue Sky, please go ahead and follow us on those at Tyria now. And we will see everybody on the next episode. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.